Hello and welcome to a new edition of ProtoMet's First Impressions, where today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on Ultraman RB, or Ultraman Rube. I'm not sure how they want us to pronounce it. They pronounce it Rube in the Japanese version, but the logo has R/B. So, I don't know. First off, I just want to mention that I am a bit disappointed that it's not streaming on Crunchyroll. I was kind of looking forward to watching it through that service, but it's not, so I gotta watch it on YouTube with subtitles turned on, which might be a problem if I want to rewatch the series, because if you're familiar with how Tsuburaya's YouTube channel works, they seem to only have videos up for like a week before taking them down. I know that there are other ways to watch it, but for right now, the primary means I'll be watching it myself is through YouTube. Hopefully when they put subs up. I'll have to check to see when they actually do put English subs on, because whatever. Anyway, that's a problem that I really can't do anything about, and I don't know what the situation behind that is, so kind of took me a bit by surprise. Was kind of expecting it to be on Crunchyroll, but on the plus side, I didn't have to wait a week to review it, so there's that. Now on to the show itself and not the streaming issues. First up, two Ultramans, like right from the bat. Got the red Ultraman, Rosso, and the blue Ultraman, Blue, but without the E. Okay, I'm actually kind of pretty okay with the fact that the characters are brothers, even in human form. I'm fine with that. You have a nice little mystery regarding their missing mother. Their dad's still around. They just have no idea where their mom went to. They don't treat it like some super mystery or something that they get depressed about. It's more just kind of, oh yeah, mom went off on some journey or something. Wonder where she's at. That'll probably play into the plot later on, so yeah. I was kind of expecting the brothers' personalities to clash a bit more than they actually do. They actually work quite well off of each other, and I'm actually okay with that. There's no like rivalry. One doesn't hate the other's personality. They're actually pretty okay with each other's personality. I'm okay with that. I like that. Now I gotta talk about how they get their transformation item. So what happens is they're in a park. It's being attacked by a giant monster. They get separated from each other, turn back to grab each other to try and pull each other from the flames that are coming at them. They get engulfed in the flames, and then their items just kind of show up. Like, they even acknowledge that they have no idea where these things came from or what they are. And yet somehow are able to go through the whole stock footage transformation sequence as though they've been practicing it. What? Like, I'm okay with the fact that they acknowledge that they don't know what they are, but then they immediately just know exactly how to use them. Until they're actually in their Ultraman forms, then they're utterly clueless about what they're doing. Like, how do you know exactly what to do for your transformation sequence, but then are completely dumbfounded over the fact that you can fire out of your hands? How would you not know that? One thing about how they do it, though, that I do enjoy is the fact that they can share their powers. So, while primarily the red Ultraman is, of course, going to use fire powers, derived from Ultraman Taro, and the blue one will likely primarily use water-based powers from Ultraman Ginga. I'll get to that issue in a second. They can give each other their powers by swapping the items that they use to transform. They still have the same basic shape of their base Ultraman form, but with different colors. So the blue one will turn into red, but still have his shape, his like one horn, and vice versa. I'm okay with this. I think this is a nice idea. I like the fact that their powers are clearly based on elemental properties. Why those elemental properties are tied to past Ultramans, I don't know. Again, I'm fine with the elemental properties. I just don't know why they have to have Ultramans slapped onto them. Honestly, at this point, I'm getting a little tired of the shows just having, remember this Ultraman? He's a new toy! That's... I'm not a big fan of that. Also, why is Ginga water? Exactly. I get Taro. He has fire-based powers, but Ginga? When was Ginga water-based? And now I can't stop thinking about how bad Ginga ended up being. Like, it's not the worst, but that's not here or there. So yeah. There is the mystery over who summoned the monster that the characters have to fight. I mean, I'm really hoping that this turns out to be good, like Orb and Jeed were. But at the same time, I'm not sure if it will. Like, I feel... I don't really know how to feel about this. I thought it was a fun episode, to be sure. I liked the episode, don't get me wrong there. Did enjoy that. I just wish that this first episode kind of developed the characters a bit more. I mean, we get the development that the Blue Brother is kind of into like space and technology and stuff like that. It's hot up here, and these lights aren't helping. But I don't really know anything about the Red Brother. Their dad's kind of odd. They run a clothing shop, I guess. They run and live in a clothing shop. That's then their sister shows up at the end of the episode, and it took me a little bit to even realize that was supposed to be their sister, honestly. At first I thought it was like a school friend that one or both of them might have a crush on, but then I realized it was a sister. For the record, they don't show any indication that they actually have crushes on. That was just me making an assumption, and so. But yeah, she just shows up. Hadn't been even mentioned before in the entire episode, but then she shows up. Whatever. Let me think, what else? I did like the fact that the very first monster introduced in this season is a brand new monster, not based on any prior monster. I like that. That's good. I hope there's a lot more of that. However, given that the next episode preview has already shown that they're going to be facing off against the Black King, I mean, I guess to cut down on costs, they gotta reuse costumes so that, you know, they aren't making new costumes all the time, and I get that. I can understand that. I just wish that there was more new monsters to this, and this first new monster, Grigio Bone, is actually pretty interesting looking. It looks like a red skeleton with like black matter connecting everything. The actual fight against the monster has some comedic moments to it, which I don't think really land quite as well as the production company had hoped. Kind of falls a bit flat. It's not terrible. I won't go saying, "Oh, that was awful. I'm never watching this again." But it was a little over comedic for my tastes. Could have toned down the humor a bit. Again, going back to the whole, the characters know how to do their transformation sequences like they practice, but then when they're actually fighting, they haven't a clue what they're doing. That's a really weird disconnect. It's not even a case of, like, say, Riku from Ultraman G just kind of making it up as he goes, and that's what he sticks with. This one's really kind of like, they feel like they've been practicing this. They know what to call their transformation items, even though the name of the items have never been mentioned before. They call the little things that go in their items crystals, even though they look a bit more like coins. Again, not sure why. And again, how do they actually know what the Ultramans that their crystals represent are named? They call out their names as though they're terribly familiar with them, and that's weird. I guess I don't really care for what's being presented to me right now. Again, I'm really hoping that this ends up being good, like Orb and Jeed were. But as of right now, it's lacking. Could do a lot better. Again, there's the mystery over who summoned the monster in the first place. Is it this guy who runs this company that's on TV? I'm kind of hoping not, because if they do go that route, that would be too obvious. Maybe don't make the villain super obvious. Maybe the person who summoned the monster was their mom. I'm just throwing that out there. If that ends up being a spoiler, wow, I'd kind of be a bit surprised that they would actually do that. But again, I'm really hoping it's not the guy who runs the company that makes the town so important as it is. I hope he's just more like kind of a side character as comic relief and not the villain, because that would be just a little too predictable. I want to be surprised. So, yeah. Can I think of anything else to talk about in the episode? I can't really think of anything else, so, yeah, would I recommend checking this out? I'm not gonna recommend it like I usually do. I know I have a tendency to recommend these, and in this particular case, I'm withholding judgment, because honestly, I don't feel there's enough presented just yet to make a determined opinion over whether or not the show is good. So for my first impressions, I'll keep watching, but probably don't lose any sleep over not watching it if that's what you choose. So, for ProtoMet's First Impressions, I'm ProtoMet, and I'm getting out of this hot, hot room. Summer sucks. See ya.